A combination of QR code with Google Forms is an effective and inexpensive way to directly capture the voice of customer. Let's get started. We start with a blank Google form. You could go ahead and you could name it company name, NPS, which is Net Promoter Score, or you could say it's customer satisfaction. So name it as per your own convenience. Since we are making this form for our customers and we're not sure if every customer would have a Google ID, so we'll go ahead and we will ask for the email address. And you could go ahead and you could even add a validation here. And you could say that it is text and it's an email, so people don't fill unnecessary emails or wrong emails. And it's up to you if you want this to make it mandatory. You click on required, and I would say let's make it mandatory because we would be collecting feedback and people could even share complaints. So you want to respond back to them. And then we will keep it really short. We want to check customer satisfaction here. So we'll make it a linear scale and we will ask them that were how satisfied were you with your recent, you could say purchase, or you could say service or interaction, depending on the purpose of the form. So I'll say, how satisfied were you with your recent interaction, or let's say recent purchase. Let's say we're making it for a retail outlet. So I'll keep it as recent purchase. You could rephrase it as you would want. And here you could say it's selected linear scale. That's what we want, linear scale. 1 to 5, the first is 1 is extremely dissatisfied and extremely satisfied. And we make this required because this is what we want to collect. And then let's add just another question, that how likely are you to recommend our company to friends and this is what you call an NPS question, and how likely are they to recommend or refer your company. Again, a linear scale, extremely unlikely, pardon me for my spelling mistakes today, and extremely likely. And this, let's not make it required because our major intention here is to collect the satisfaction scores, but you can make it required if you would want. Let's say we want them to tell us if they would be willing to recommend or not. And again, you can also go ahead and change the scale here. You can make it a scale of 1 to 3 or 1 to 10. Let's keep it 1 to 5. And let's just add another question where we ask them to share remarks. And this will not be a mandatory question. And that's it. Let's keep it very simple. You could go ahead and you could customize it as per your brand color. You could even go ahead and you could add a logo to it. It all depends up to you. Here is the brand settings. So manage how responses are collected. It says collect email addresses. We don't want that right now because not everybody is going to be using a Google ID. These are your customers, not employees. Uh, Allow response editing. It's up to you, but let's keep it off. Once they submit the feedback, that's it. That's it. Restrict to users in Excel consulting. This is if you have a company account. So we'll go ahead and we could disable it because our customers are not part of our Google Suite user group. And that's it. So we have the questions. Let's go ahead and let's view the form. So this is the form. Let's go ahead and fill up the survey. So let's say I will fill hello at test.in. How satisfied were you with your recent purchase? I'll say go ahead at 4. How likely I to recommend? So I am neutral. This is a test entry. Now you could go ahead and you could even add fields for name, phone number. But the idea is to keep it short, that somebody using a mobile device could scan the QR code and fill up a short 3 to 4 question survey. And then you click on submit. And the moment a customer does that, you receive the response. You could see it shows that you have received a response there. And you also have a nice graphical representation. And as more and more people go ahead and fill up the survey, you will see the entire analytics here. But What you need to do is you could also go ahead and link it to a Google Sheet. So it says create a new spreadsheet. So let's go ahead and let's click on create. Before that, I think that we need to add a name for the form. So now the name is there. Now go ahead and link to sheet. So the name is already there. Let's click on create and we would have a Google Sheet automatically created. And as people go ahead and fill up the form, you would see a few entries here. So I'll just take a little pause and I'll go ahead and add a few more entries. So I've made a few more entries, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in total, and you could see that the ratings are there. If you check in the responses tab in the Google form itself, you could see the graphical representation that, okay, 1%, 16.7% say that they are neutral. Nobody is dissatisfied yet. 50% people are at a scale of 4, 33% at a scale of 2. And again, 1% or 17% does not want to recommend your company. 17% is neutral. So this is where the company needs to work upon. You have the remarks here. So when actual customers fill it, they will add their complaints, they will add their recommendations. You could even copy this chart and send it on email to your company staff. And you could use the Excel sheet for detailed remarks, and then you could add more columns for follow-up actions. And you can even track if the recommended actions have been taken and completed, and then you could send an email to your customers for a follow-up request and, okay, thank you for your feedback, or thank you for your suggestion, this is what we have done. So a very easy free tool using Google Forms and Google Sheets to track voice of customer, take actions upon it, and improve customer satisfaction. Now that we have the form and the response sheet ready, now we need to go ahead and create the QR code, which you will print it on different designs, which customers can scan using the mobile phone. So first you need to go ahead and copy the link of the form. So you click on send, you go on the link, you can shorten the URL, that's easier, and then you copy the link. And then you could go and use any free QR code generator. I'm using this one, and I will leave the link in the video description. So you could go ahead and use the same. This is free to use. You enter the URL here and the QR code is generated. It gives you different options, color options. You could go ahead and even customize. You could add your own colors, your brand colors if you would like. But for me, this is good enough. And I'll just go ahead and I will download the QR code and I will rename the QR code NPS QR. You could choose either PNG or you could use a vector graphic file, and you could even choose the image size. So I'll go ahead and now I'll click on download. And here you could see that the image has already been downloaded. And I could go ahead, I could use this image on different designs, which customers can then scan and fill up the form. If you go ahead and if you print this QR code on different designs, all customers need to do is go ahead, use their mobile camera, scan it, which will lead them to the Google form. So they don't have to really type it. The form opens up and they could just go ahead and fill their emails. So the email address, they could go ahead and select the rating as per the question. Again, the rating for, are they willing to recommend it? Yes, I will. And then they click on submit and the form is submitted. So that's how easy it is. You could go ahead and you could check that the customer's rating, the latest rating has been submitted and the charts have been updated. That's how easy it is to use a QR code and Google Sheet in combination to capture the voice of customer. So that's how easy it is. You can easily go ahead and create multiple forms for customer satisfaction, for employee satisfaction, for different sets of customers. It's a free tool, a QR code generator plus Google Form and Google Sheets. So go ahead, use it in case if you have any questions on how to do it, how to develop it, or if you face any challenges, write in the comments below. I'll reply to them at the earliest. Or if you need guidance and support developing this, you can visit my website. The link is in the description. Fill up the contact form and I shall get in touch with you. So go ahead, capture the voice of customer and improve your business further. Thank you.